what is the contribution of Bihar of the total export made by the country? Who is the proponent of subaltern theory of history writing?
What is the history of Nalanda University? What is GDP and what is GSDP?
And what is connection of Dara Shikoh with Bihar?
Who was Jebunisa?
Sir.
Yes, come in.
Afternoon, sir. Ma'am.
Good afternoon. Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Please give a brief introduction about yourself.
Sir, I am Osama Mustaqeem. I am from Begusarai. Initially, I have completed my education from Begusarai. Afterwards, I have done my graduation from History Honours from College of Vocational Studies, University of Delhi. Afterwards, I have done my Masters in Medieval Indian History from JNU, and now I am pursuing PhD from AUD, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, Kashmiri Gate.
Don't you think you are overqualified to become a civil servant?
No, sir, I don't think so.
You have done your post-graduation, you are pursuing your PhD. Why you are not pursuing your career in academics?
I feel, sir, that is a field of specialization, and here in coming to civil services, it would enable me to explore my full abilities, and as well as whatever studies I have done till now and the specialization, the topic of my PhD which I am pursuing, I have completed my first year. It is on evolution of company paintings with specific ideas to Patna Kalam painting. So I think I can contribute to Bihar's art and culture.
Art and culture, very nice. Are you aware of the fact that NITI Aayog has recently brought out export index ranking of states?
Yes, sir.
Bihar, any idea where does Bihar rank?
Yes, sir. Bihar is at 22nd position.
22nd position.
Low.
And what is the contribution of Bihar of the total export made by the country?
It is very less. It is a minimalistic 0.5%.
0.5%. Wonderful. 0.5%. And what is the contribution of your district, Begusarai?
Sir, my district being called as colloquially as industrial capital of Bihar, it leads in the export sector in Bihar. It is at the top.
So what is the percentage? Any idea?
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, that's all right. You have studied history in your graduation, post-graduation, done your specialization in medieval Indian history, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So there has been the discussion in the country that the time has come where history should be rewritten. What is your take on this?
I believe that, sir, history should be rewritten in the context that the ideas which have not been explored yet, the sections of the society, the community, or even the literature which have not been explored to the extent that the earlier literature or architecture have been explored, it should be seen in that way, rather than looking at the ideas of James Mill's division of the ancient Hindu history, medieval Muslim history, and then the modern British history. It should be looked upon and being divided into sections of like subaltern sections, the modern Dalit sections, the marginalized sections, the tribal sections. So if history should be rewritten by looking into these dimensions, then I believe it would be helpful.
Who is the proponent of subaltern theory of history writing?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall it.
How do you define subaltern theory of history writing?
The subaltern theory of history writing, it basically emerged through the idea of looking into the history of the marginalized sections, the downtrodden sections, for example, the Dalit history, or even looking into the women history, as well as, for example, the tribal areas where there are no major written history records of them. So on the basis of some new perspectives of oral histories, memories.
You said you have interest in painting and you are doing research on that, PhD
Yes.
on that. Let's talk something about the styles of architecture in India. There is one style is Dravidian style.
Yes.
Another is Nagar style, or Nagar style, what do you call it? What is the difference between two styles of architecture, Dravidian and Nagar style?
Yes, sir. So the Nagara style of architecture, it basically emerged in the northern part of Indian subcontinent, and the Dravidian, it was in the southern part. And an amalgamation could also be seen in form of Visara style of architecture. in Nagara style of architecture, basically the top conical portion, the Vimana, or as it is called Shikhar, it is one of the designs, the pyramidal design of that. And in Dravida style, we have huge long structures called Vimanas. So this is the first difference. Then we have also the ideas of Gopurams, or big entrance gates in southern India. And apart from that, the differences, they arise in the intricate wall carvings, as well as the kind of things shown in that architecture.
So what is Pallava style?
So Pallava style actually emerged in areas of Tamil Nadu, and it had actually 3 to 4 styles, starting from Mahendravarman style to Narasimha style or Mamalla style. We have their famous shore temples, Mamallapuram, Kanchipuram temples at Kanchi. Afterwards, we also have their Rajasimha style. We have several architectures known as, for example, in Pallava style of architecture.
What is so special about this style, Chalukya style? There is one thing which is very special about Chalukya style, Pallava style, sorry.
Pallava style, sir.
There is a thing called Hoysala style also.
Yes, sir.
What is that Hoysala style of architecture?
So, sir, Hoysala style of architecture, it recently got World Heritage Tag status. And it is an example of the Visara style, which I mentioned that it is an amalgamation of the two. And in this Visara style of architecture, we see, apart from this Gopuram and all the entrance, we also see examples of Nagara style of architecture, which is the intricate wall carvings, showcasing many of the religions, not just either Shaivism or Buddhism, but also Jainism. So this is some of the examples could be seen as Channakeshav temple of Belur.
Thank you very much.
Osama, what is the history of Nalanda University?
Nalanda University was actually founded by Kumar Gupta, and it is considered as one of the major seats of Buddhism, especially the Hinayana and later on the Mahayana style of Buddhism. So it stands tall not only in India but also globally, with students coming from right from Tibet, China, etc. And there was a very unique style of getting admission into this university, where the teacher who was said something like as Grehpalak, or I'm forgetting the actual terminology, he used to stand at the gate and ask certain logical questions, and only those students who were able to answer them were allowed to enter and gain education.
Okay, so Buddhism is the biggest contribution of Nalanda University, you say?
In starting.
What is the theory of Buddhism?
So theory
Some
of
important
Buddhism,
features of
the
Buddhism.
basic, the very basic idea is of ahimsa or non-violence. Then we have also the Madhyam Marg. So the middle path, the Buddha, the very ingenuity of Buddha was Madhyam Marg. That you should not do extremes, not only in religious affairs but also in worldly affairs.
Okay. Watching movies is your hobby. Then definitely you have heard about the short movie Champaran Mutton.
Yes.
Tell me something about this movie.
Though I have not watched, but Champaran Mutton movie, it basically highlights the cuisine, that is Champaran Mutton, which is built in a very unique rustic style. And so I think it.
Are you sure, or you are making a guess?
I'm just guessing, ma'am.
Yes,
I have not
yes,
seen.
yes. Okay.
Watch.
What is GDP and what is GSDP?
Yes, ma'am. The GDP, or gross domestic production, it is the entire accounts of economics at country level, and GSDP is gross state domestic produce.
Good. What is the GSDP of Bihar?
The GSDP of Bihar is at around, according to economic survey, it is 475.45 thousand crores.
Okay.
At present.
As you know, we are organizing G20 meetings in so many cities of India. How many meetings of G20 has been held in Bihar this year so far?
At least one meeting, the L20, the Labor 20 meeting has occurred.
What is Sherpa in G20?
So Sherpa, the G20 Sherpa, this concept has been taken from the Nepalis, those guides who used to track mountaineers into Himalayas. So G20 Sherpa, as our G20 Sherpa of India was Mr. Amitabh Kant. So they are the ones who take the reins of G20 and they plan all meetings and everything and ensure that G20 is being held successfully by that respective nation.
Okay. My final question. How many persons from Bihar received Padma Puraskar for this year?
This year, 3 Padma Shri Puraskars were.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Osama,
Yes, sir.
who was 𝐏𝐫𝐻𝐵?
𝐏𝐫𝐻𝐵 was daughter of Aurangzeb.
Why she is considered Meera of Mughals?
So 𝐏𝐫𝐻𝐵, as far as I can recall, sir, she was also devoted to some Sufi cult, and also she used to dabble in poetry. So whatever her writings or some letters which have been deciphered or which have been looked into by historians, they tend that she was since she was into the Sufi fold and she was very devoted and religious, so she could be called.
And what is connection of Dara Shikoh with Bihar?
Sorry, sir.
Okay. There was another 𝐏𝐵 born in modern Bihar. Because you are interested in movies, she became a very famous actress in 20th century.
Sorry, sir.
And she picked up another name, 𝐾𝐲.
Okay, sir.
Have you seen any of her movies?
I don't watch old movies.
Okay. And because you are doing a specialization in medieval history, so you are comfortably placed to say when Patna was adopted as the capital of Bihar in the medieval times.
It was actually at the time of Sher Shah Suri. So at around 1541 approximately.
That's correct. And which was the place that was capital before Patna?
Before Patna too, sir, Patliputra was there, but
No,
then we have
just
Bihar
immediately
Sharif.
before. Yeah.
Bihar Sharif.
And how long Bihar Sharif had been capital?
So at least with the advent of Ibn Bakhtiyar Khilji, so he at around 1226, 1225 AD.
Okay.
Since that.
So it is a little debated, but largely it is concluded that Bakhtiyar Khilji massacred large number of Buddhist monks.
Yes, sir.
Why there was some conflict perception between Bakhtiyar Khilji or many Afghan commanders and Buddhist monks? Why they looked at Buddhist monks in such a strongly antagonistic manner?
Yes, sir. So these Buddhist monasteries or viharas, till that point of times when these Afghans or Turks they came, it became a major center of not only of education but also of trade. It was basically an entrepôt style where the trade, at least the materials would come, and then some kind of factory or stores would also be placed there. So these Afghans or Turks, they thought of these places not only in the religious sense that they are antagonistic, but also they thought it as a threat as a material threat, that they might be supporting the non-Muslim kings of the surrounding regions and might give shelter to them. So,
okay. What is the problem nowadays going on in Nagorno-Karabakh?
Yes, sir. The Nagorno-Karabakh, it is actually an ethnic conflict between the residents of Armenia on one hand and Azerbaijan on the other hand. So it is basically a Christian and Muslim kind of conflict going on there.
Okay. Do you see any parallel in Manipur?
Sir, here though not on religious affiliations, but also at that point the clashing of these tribal communities. So these could be seen as a parallel. The Kuki and 𝐈𝐀𝐒 community, the clash between the hill tribes as well as these plain area residents in Manipur.
The Home Ministry has officially said that the immigrants coming from Myanmar have also prompted some clash perception or conflict perception. How do you explain this theory?
Sir, so basically the basic idea behind if any kind of problem is considered with these immigrants, that when these immigrants are being allowed to reside, it is purely on humanitarian grounds. But since at times when there is no official recognition of them and they are being enjoined at that place for very long times, so they also do not prefer to move away from that place, which is originally not of their own. Then these basic ideas of son of the soil theory, the people who are the original residents, and then the religious conflicts related to that, apart from the ideas of employments and professions. So these could be the major reasons behind this aggravation.
Okay. Recently, Government of India, along with Government of Bihar to be more particular, celebrated 100 years or centenary of Bihar Vidhan Sabha. Which year it was celebrated, and it may lead us to know when Vidhan Sabha of Bihar was set up.
Sir, I'm not able to recall it.
Okay. And when was Bihar created in modern times as a separate state?
It was basically, it separated, it was announced on 22nd of March 1912, and then afterwards on 1st April 1936, it separated from Orissa and emerged as an autonomous.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Osama, there's a Khudabakhsh Oriental Library in Patna.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever visited that library?
Not yet, sir, but I'm planning to do my primary
What
sources
is
work
so
from
special about this library?
So, sir, this library nowadays, it has been enhanced as a major preservation heritage source, where new techniques and ideas are also being applied there in order to preserve some of the famous old documents. For example, recently, even the copies of Firoz Shah Tughlaq's Firoznama, they have been preserved. And apart from that, it has many manuscripts, documents, paintings, etc., right from ancient to modern times.
Who was Khudabakhsh?
Sorry, sir, I'm not
aware. Okay, you watch web series also. So, what is the full form of OTT? You watch on OTT platforms.
Yes.
What is OTT?
Over the top platform.
Over the top. So, how do they? What is their revenue model? How do they earn money?
So basically, these OTT models, they work on subscriptions that we take. They give minimal subscriptions annually or monthly, and apart from that, their major chunk of revenue comes from ads also, which they provide in between their videos or movies or before that.
Do you think that day is not far off when the total revenues earned through the OTT platforms may supersede the revenue earned by Bollywood?
No, sir, I do not think so. Though a major chunk of the young population, they prefer to watch OTT movies because of lack of time, or also for basic, they think that it is more easy to watch being tucked in their beds or in their rooms. But a major chunk of our population yet goes to theaters and enjoy it as a family time. So it could be seen as an example in recent Jawan movie, which has crossed around 500 crores.
Okay, it was nice interacting with you, Osama.
Thank
the
you,
interview is
sir.
over.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Come. Sit down. Which attempt is this for you at the BPSC?
This is my second attempt.
Second attempt. And first interview?
Yes, sir.
First interview. How have you done in your mains?
Good, sir.
You are satisfied?
Yes, sir. Though I have, in my stats portion, I am lagging 2 questions, around 16 to 18 marks.
Okay.
It is wrong, but otherwise my optional has been good.
Good.
I've looked at the answer sheets.
Wonderful. How about today's performance with us?
I was a bit nervous and I didn't know some of the history questions, so I'll definitely go and relook.
You see, history is a very vast subject.
Yes, exactly.
How much hard you may try to learn, you won't be able to finish your this thing. Don't get unnecessarily unnerved that you don't know so many things. Whatever you know is important. How you communicate, how you present those facts is important. What you don't know, be candid enough to admit that I don't know. Without knowing, don't speak anything, don't give any argument or anything based on surmises or conjectures. So, honesty is required of a prospective civil servant, isn't it? You don't know, there are so many things under the sun which one doesn't know. You don't know this. But the questions which I asked you on history, very general questions, but you attempted well. Very good. I was quite happy the way you tried to explain things to us. There's no, if I try to find fault with your answers, there's no end to it. But I was quite happy with your performance.
Thank you, sir.
it appeared to us that here is a knowledgeable person who has really studied his subject. Okay, so that is a good thing about you. And your communication skill is excellent, very natural, a glib talker, a very natural talker, and it makes impact. So that is another good quality in you. Energy level is very nice. Total persona, your persona is very good, very pleasing personality, smile on face, and very natural to talk to. So these are the qualities. So when you go for the interview, maintain all these qualities, plus on any issue, try to give a very balanced view. The way you, when I asked you a question on rewriting of history and all that, give a very balanced view. Don't take any extreme step or stance that it should be like this, it should be like that, because you are not an authority on all that, isn't it? So then be firm in your opinion. Once you have given an opinion and you find that what opinion I have given is correct, then if I even try to take you for a ride, stick to that. Okay, so these are few things which you should keep in mind when you go for the interview. Otherwise, our impression is that you will be getting very good marks in the interview. If you have done really well in your mains paper, interview is not going to let you down. It will give you good marks, and God willing, you may be in the list of successful candidates also. Now, certain things which you didn't know, because OTT and all that, you are watching web series and movies. So in that context only, this Champaran mutton movie was, a question on that was asked. It's a very short movie, 30 minutes movie, and this has been included in the Oscars.
In the Oscar.
That is why it is very important. And more importantly, there is a girl from Muzaffarpur, Falak Khan, isn't it? She has hogged the limelight in one movie only. So that is why a movie lover like you should be aware of it. And Champaran mutton is basically on aftermath of your COVID, migrant story of a migrant labor. So basically, it's a caste politics, discrimination politics, and all that. It's a treat to watch. So that Falak Khan, you should remember who is the director of the movie, and this is given in one category, that is Student Academy Award category. So all films produced in the category, that in the training institutes, there are about 700-800 movies which were initially there in the competition. Now few movies have been shortlisted, and this happens to be one. Otherwise, wonderful candidate, no issues from our side. If you have any specific question to ask, your dress, you are wearing this dress only now.
Yes, sir. That is right.
Perfect. All perfect.
Is it okay,
all
sir?
Perfect.
I'll
all
go
perfect.
like that.
Yes.
So the tie and all is
everything
okay?
is fine. Everything fine. If you have any questions to ask,
Sure.
so all the best to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.